This episode of Distraction is sponsored by Landmark College, offering comprehensive support for students with ADHD and other learning differences. Learn more at lcdistraction.org. Landmark College, the college of choice for students who learn differently. Hello, this is Dr. Ned Hallowell with a mini episode for Distraction. Our podcast is called Distraction because we live in the age of distraction. And I got started on this, how many years ago? I wrote an article for the Harvard Business Review called Overloaded Circuits, Why Smart People Underperform. Overloaded Circuits, Why Smart People Underperform. And that had such a enthusiastic response, that article in the Harvard Business Review, that I went on to write a book called CrazyBusy, Overbooked, Overstretched, and About to Snap. And how many people identified with that title? I had people right and left saying, my goodness, that title sums up my life. And this was more than 10 years ago, and it's only become more pronounced. Crazy busy, feeling crazy busy, more to do than time to do it. That feeling of being overstretched, overbooked, and about to snap, it's not good for you. It's no way to live. And a lot of people, when I say that to them, they say, but I have no choice. My boss demands it, my family demands it, my lifestyle demands it. If I'm going to keep up and pay the rent and do the things we want to do, I have to be crazy busy. I have no choice. I don't have inherited wealth. I don't have whatever. I have to be crazy busy. I have to have more to do than time to do it. And I say to them, you may feel that you have to, but you really haven't fully explored the alternatives. And then I give them advice about, deciding what really matters most to them in life, and then trying to do that. And you usually can find things that you do that you actually like to do and are good at that people will pay you to do. And that's, if money is an issue, and it is for most of us, you want to try to tailor what you do to fit into that category of you like it, you're good at it, and someone will pay you to do it, or it advances the value of the group you're in. Once you do that, you want to start getting rid of what I call the leeches in your life. These are people or projects that just aren't worth it. They just aren't worth the time you put in. There's no rule that says you must stay wedded or involved with a leech. In fact, it's a really good idea to get rid of that leech and let that leech find someone else to, associate with. Because remember, for another person, a leech might not be a leech at all. Might be instead what I call a lily. And as much as you want to get rid of leeches, you want to cultivate lilies. Well, lilies are people or projects that are worth it. They may be very time-consuming, but it's worth it. The best example in my wife Sue's in my life is our children. They're now 30, 27, 24. They are 3 lilies. They took a lot of time, a lot of money, a lot of involvement. But my goodness, they're the most wonderful lilies, and the most wonderful part of our lives is having raised those 3 children. Basically my goal in life was to give my kids the happy childhood I didn't have. And thanks to Sue, we've done it. We've done it. I've achieved my life's goal. It's a wonderful feeling. But I wouldn't have had I allowed myself to get sidetracked, had I allowed myself to get off track, forget what was most important. And that's the thing about modern life. It's so seductive. You can get seduced away from what matters most to you. And in order to not have that happen, you have to know, first of all, what is most important to you. And then second of all, you have to have the ability to say, no, thank you. That's not for me. I couldn't do it. If I took that on, I wouldn't be able to do the job that project deserves. And so there's a way of declining without, sounding rude or insulting, quite the opposite, being complimentary. What you're asking me to do deserves my full attention, and I just don't have it to give at this point in my life. So you want to stay with knowing what matters most to you, first of all, and then making time for that, and at the same time not letting yourself get overrun with all the very wonderful, interesting, competing people and projects who want your time, but the minute you give them your time, you become crazy busy, which is no way to live for anyone, Take back control, know what matters most, then do what matters most, and make time, of course, for doing nothing. This is Dr. Ned Hallowell, wishing you all the best of luck in living a well-paced, not crazy busy life. Distraction is created by Sounds Great Media. Our producer is the always fascinating and beautiful and enchanting Sarah Guertin. And the podcast is recorded and edited by the extraordinarily handsome, capable, talented Pat Keogh.